and I've been fortunate enough to have one of the few medium volume programs that got off the ground, and fortunate enough to have the only program in the NAFTA region and probably the world that has the famous carbon credits by the United Nations that everybody talks about. So, but then I said, no, I'll do it myself and share with you the experience over these 6 years and what kind of conversions. And that's why we had this show put together, because on all these 6 years, I talked with the DC guys in controllers and motors and to the AC guys, controllers and motors. I talked with the medium-sized manufacturers. I talked with the Siemens of the world. You know, I talked with Azure Dynamics, with UQM, you know, with a very successful AC propulsion that was kind of a prototype, but at medium volume. And saw the high-end conversions done by Elon Musk on a Lotus Elise that became known as the Tesla after he took it away from Martin Eberhard. And the guy, the same guy's AC propulsion that did the Scion as the Xbox. And I see all those kinds of conversions. Was the guys that do it in Europe. And what I realized, and I was talking with some of the vendors that have under this show, like Evergreen Systems and you know, the guys from Evnetics and everything, I said, listen, there's going to be a huge push by the OEMs with 3 or 4 models apiece for the next 5 years on the electric vehicles for several reasons. First, because it gave them money, you know, push money through Obama in the first round. Second, because there's a new generation that is eco-minded. It's not our old eco-freaks like we were. No, it's eco-minded because they've been recycling. They've been talking about water shortage. They've been talking about energy. You know, how to use them. That has, you know, they are now 12, 13, 15 years old. Now there's a different mindset, totally different. No, these are the guys that have the iPhones and the iPads and the tablets and everything, and that they are, no. So they're into that. Plus the ones that are coming down, like the 90 guys that we have, the kids that we have tonight, you know. The teachers told me the kids were the best behaved ever on a field trip, ever. Mm. And they were, you know, bombarding Scott DuPont, of the filmmaker that did What's an Electric Car, with question after question after question after question, and make no mistakes, these were 6, 7, 8, and 9 years old, you know? And Scott was like, what? And the questions were very sensible, and you know, so this is what we're gonna have. But what we're not gonna have is electric cars for every niche that we have in this country and Canada and Mexico. Why? Because we have too many niches. And for a company to put money on those niches, you know, it just makes no economic sense, especially when they have all the infrastructure and you have the engineering department and the design department. And by the way, that you go through 7 years to do a car. Now the more efficient, like Kia or all the Koreans, do it in 4 years. But in 4 years, they put $100 million for each model, or $700 million for each model. Nissan is now to around the mark of 1.5 billion for the Leaf. No? There's a story here that I would like to share with you, that who won in 2011 in electric OEM car. It was not the Leaf, because they were the straight shooter, the Japanese, that said, okay, we're going to sell 30,000. Well, we sell 10,000 in the United States and another 10,000 outside. Yeah, in Japan, they sell 9,000. Okay, and they get to the 20,000 mark, and I said, we sell almost 3 times as much as the Volt, which only sell 7,000. Yeah, but GM, coming out of Chapter 11, being a company that was the biggest in the world to being one that is, 20 times less the size, have some very smart marketing guys now, and they said, oh, we'll bait and switch. Like, you know, Jim can tell you what is it in 47th Street in New York, you know. They have these stores that they say, oh, this camera, it's for $99. You go to a camera, guess what? We sold the last one. But we have this for $175 that it's even better than that one. Okay, so GM does that with the Bolt. They just sell $7,000. They were bashed in the media for this, you know, unthinkable thing about the crashes and the fire and blah blah blah, which was really baloney, no, and Nizza, no, and meanwhile, silently, they were pushing it to the dealers and said, make noise about the Bolt, have people coming on the weekends, and then when they got the sticker shock, you know, they said, guess what? We have this one that is manufactured exactly the same platform, and it's the Eco model in gas. Does 42 miles per gallon. It's called a Cruise, and it costs $17,000. So the guy that went with his family, you know, when he saw 42,000, he said, I'm not going to be approved for 22 by the bank at the most, or maybe 23, never for 42. And then comes the guy at this salesperson and said, this is 17. Oh, it's 5,000 less than that I can be approved for. So the big success story of 2011 was 1 million Cruises sold. Mm-hmm. How many of the 1 million was sold because of they were going bait and switch on the floor? We never know, but I can bet you it's a big bulk of that. So having said that, you know, Nissan is coming with another 3 models down the pipeline, and GM has maybe another couple. Ford has delayed the Focus that has to be here and has to be for another year. Transit Connect went down the drain because it came out at $62,000 when it is $17,000, right? You know, and I've known all of them personally. You know, I've worked with Azure Dynamics. They dumped one of the programs that I'm going to talk to you about, you know, because they want to go with Ford. And they went through first 12 million, 17 million, and now to the last 20 million. And nobody's buying this stuff. You know, even the big ones, they just said, well, just send me 3 Transit Connects to know that we are. You know. So what does this lead me to? This led me to say OEMs are going to hit the mainstream, quote and unquote, you know, because mainstream, not even the hybrid had hit the mainstream. How many hybrids, Jim, 3 million, 4 million hybrids in the market today? No. So is that 1.5%, maybe 1.75? No, that's not mainstream. That's a niche. You know, there's more golf carts in every year. So what I'm saying is that all those niches, and I have talked with Tom Howland and with Luis Perez and with Bill Moore and with Sam Smith. I'm telling them, hey, we have the black cars in New York, 10,000, and 5,000 in Chicago, and about 1,000 in Atlanta. They just do between 60 and 110 miles. That's all they do. The executives in Manhattan, because it's a place where I worked 9 years, you know, I was telling Scott about Andy Warhol and that crazy days. They don't want to get out of the Crown Vic or, well, the Lincoln Town Car. They just don't want. They see Escape, came to pick them up, and they called, they said, take away that, send me a Lincoln Town Car. So Ford phased out the platform last August. Shutdown in Canada. No more Crown Vics, no more Lincoln Town Cars. But guess what? How many millions are in different fleets in this country? And from those millions, the police, let me go to the other end of the spectrum. The police said, we don't want to part ways with these ones. Why? Because it's a truck. It's the last body over chassis car that was manufactured in this NAFTA region. And what's the advantage of that? Oh, I bump into that, you know, take out the bumper, stretch the rail, put in the bumper, and there it goes. Do that to a Fusion, do that to a Malibu, you know, it's total loss, even with a mild shock. So there's a point of that. And in this economy, and with the carbon footprint hanging over a lot of businesses and local entities, they will have to do the retrofit. So that's one niche. Okay, we have that niche. It's a pity that Mark Simon couldn't make it tomorrow. He's going to be a telecast, and he talked about that. He's director of alternative fuels in DOT, Department of Transit in Manhattan. And he said, please do it. Okay, that's what niche.